One of the things that's important to realize is there's a huge number of people, more than half in the criminal justice system, have some type of substance abuse or mental health issue. And oftentimes, though, that issue is one, if not the major, or even some cases, the only reason why that person has wound up in the criminal justice system and why they're engaging in behaviors that violate the law. There's a lot of non-narcotic advances in non-narcotic treatments for opiate addiction, including heroin. And so, of course, everybody's familiar with morphine, but that itself is a narcotic. And so the idea that now we have a pill or some other form of medication someone can take that enables them to, it literally blocks the receptor so they no longer have that craving for heroin and other opiates, and it's not a narcotic, so it's not addictive in and of itself. And then, of course, on mental health, not only, of course, are there constantly new medications being developed for mental illnesses, but there's advances in what dosage and what combination of medications can best address a person's problem. I think that the real kind of rubric that a lot of this falls under is risk and needs assessments, and figuring out how do you match the right level of supervision, the right treatment modality with a particular offender. And we're better able to do that now through these actuarial assessments. Increasingly, we're not just put all these people on probation and they're all going to have the same supervision plan. Instead, it's becoming a lot more tailored and customized. And it's kind of like what we're seeing in education with blended learning, where we're able to better match what the product we're providing with the particular level and needs of these, whether it's a student or a person on probation. And ultimately, what that's going to do is it's going to enable us to kind of have a longitudinal view of these offenders as they move through the system. And hopefully we can get this all in an electronic form. And then someone who's dealing with this offender, let's say on parole, will be able to see what their risk level was, what the assessment was when they're on probation, what it was in prison, what was done in response to that, whether it worked or not. And that will really give us more than just a snapshot in time, but an ability to really make sure that at each part of the process where we have the information about what's been done with that offender in the past, and we're able to make the best decisions. You've got, on average, 110 probationers for every probation officer. And so, but they're not all the same, these probationers. You've got people that have a first-time offense, that have a job, a stable family, very low risk. The bottom line is that person doesn't need as much supervision as somebody who's a repeat offender, who's maybe homeless, who doesn't have a stable living situation, who's mentally ill, all these different, who may be gang involved. These are all factors that they look at in this assessment and determine how often do you need to come into the probation office. Because if somebody's really stable and has a job, you don't want them coming into the probation office during the day every week. They're going to lose their job, and they don't need that.